Hello, everybody in YouTube land and I think Facebook and Twitter too. Time for the next installment of the Battlebrick Road pinup sketch, full size, I think, printed pinup sketch for Eric Weathers' Battlebrick Road 2. Last I left it, here's the sketch, which, now that I look at it, it doesn't have what I want out of it. I want more power. And that means a little more lean into it, I think. So I'm going to hit the figure here. I might just actually put these. I know what I'm going to do. Duplicate this layer with the figure in it. Get rid of everything around it. Invert that and delete it. Wait a minute, what did I do? What did I do? Lasso. This is the layer. Oh, I did the wrong layer. Great. Okay. Let's try this again. Inverse. And delete. Now I'm going to take this body part here, put these two together. Merge layers. Now, let's see. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, good. Oh, I think I made a mistake here. Oh, shit. I need to make a copy of that. Wait, there's no other copy of that. Oh, wow. Let's try this again. Okay. Take this. Command J that duplicates the layer. Now I got a copy. And I can do what I just did. Maybe I could do just a reselect here. No, it doesn't let me because I went back in my history. Okay, let's try this again. Take this figure out. Let's see what I can get as far as merging them with this guy. That's what I want merged. Okay, merge those two in one layer. Make that maybe a green. So I've got the background. Okay. And I got the head on one layer. Now what I want out of this layer is to be able to play with that torso. Get that. Get that in a different position. See if I can get more power. I need power. All right, now move this a little more forward. Now we're talking. He's leaning forward, maybe tilt it a little bit like that. I want twist, I want power. You know, the spider is threatening, but I want the hero to be equally threatening, equally dangerous. that's cool. That's more cool. More cool. That's the ticket. Leaning forward. Again, if this arm is a human arm, and it's smaller. Whoops, what kind of a stupid brush do I have here? But it's intense. Now I wonder if I can. It'd be cool if he was grabbing one of those spider arms, but maybe that's too much. Maybe just want the anticipation. Anticipation is just as powerful or more powerful than an actual action sometimes. Now this arm is lion. Oh, got somebody here. Hey, Wilbur Fett. So cool watching me work. Put your comment up there for a second. Cool. I'm glad that is cool that you think it's cool. I usually am not cool, so that's cool to be cool. All right, now I can lift this. You know, when you're thinking about figures, you want to, the power in a figure is in the twisting. Like when you're swinging a baseball bat. So there's movement this way. There's movement this way. And then that bottom part here, this is going this way and going around that way. So the contrasting twist to strike, you want like a coiled spring. That's what I'm after with this. I want as much tension as I can make it without making it hokey. Now, in the story, I do believe, and this is quite cool, that there's a little bit of water. It's inside of a sort of high-tech place, but there's water, which means I don't have to draw the feet. That's all it means. Hey, cool, put in water. Just enough to cover the feet. Excellent. Because feet are tough to figure out, especially on a flat surface. If you got them on a rocky surface, you can play with that much more easily. But on a flat surface, you got to really figure it out, and that is not easy. I'm putting some white behind this where the other sketch is. Where's my, I made a layer here with stuff on it. My little swatches, which I find more useful than using the Z thing, you know. People like to use the Z thing. Command Z. Cut that off of there. These rough sketches I did in my last video. Got off on a bit of a tangent. And talking about gesture drawing. That's actually pretty good. The previous video, it's worth checking out if you're struggling with getting figures right. There's like several techniques in there that I deliver to that are good for approaching a figure and working a figure out. Really, once you get the figure, worked out, and then you know your anatomy, everything just falls into place. put these two together. Now, the interesting thing about anatomy is you want to get the anatomy right, but you also want to exaggerate it. Kneecaps, guess what? Kind of make it up. Make it look good. You know there's a kneecap there. You know there's some bone and some tendons. Doesn't have to be perfectly accurate, but you just gotta look kind of cool. Interesting shapes, gnarly stuff. This guy is really big. Now, the bigness is largely controlled by the size of the head in proportion to the body. Now, his head is probably too big. And I will see what happens when I reduce that. Actually, I'm making a copy of it first. Now, I could make it a smart object. I could make it a smartass object. But I just like making a copy of it sometimes and just mess around with it. See, look at the difference in the positions, you guys. When you this a little less intense, or different kind of a look. Bring it down. He's more crouching, more intense. You go too low and it looks stupid, right? So. I think I like it right about there. Again, thinking of the twisting I showed you earlier. Twist. You want this. These arms are twisting this way. The legs are twisting that way. The head's twisting back. So a lot of torque. Torque's not a good word. Helps describe what's happening with his figure. Torquemada. Now, flying hair denotes action. Even if he's standing still. Yo Dan, love to have a one-on-one live stream on your channel. Of course, I'm always up for anything like that. I love to go and teach and show stuff and learn from other people. Do I ever do individual thumbnails? No, I tend to kind of sketch it. When I'm doing a page, I tend to just do the whole page, just sketch it out. And but I do it on the computer a lot, so I can move things around and that sort of thing, like I'm doing right now for this picture here. So and then I print it out and use it as an underlay. So, but you can do any way you want. Whatever works, really. If I'm going to, if I'm trying to having trouble with getting a figure, I could go on a separate piece of paper and do a whole bunch of little sketches, thumbnails, figures, just to get that thing right. So yeah, whatever works. It comes down to how much time you got to work on this sucker. It's like, oh, there's no time. And there it goes out the window. You gotta. Out the door, or out the window, yeah. Throw it out the window. Now this is cooking. Now he looks more savage. I'm not sure how much rib I want to show, like down here. Sometimes when you have a shadow, most figures you're lighting it with a strong light from the top, so you can get the shape of the muscles. You know, if you have one key light coming in, you know, direction like this, that allows you to see a lot of the musculature, and that's what you want to see. You want to see that shape defined as much as possible. If you're doing realistic art, that is, like I am. So. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this figure. But this is what's so great about now. If you don't know about Eric Weathers' Battlebrick Road comic book, there's one out already. He's done one. The second issue is coming out. He's gonna crowdfund it very soon, or is he crowdfunded already? I forgot. But it's Wizard of Oz, but it's Wizard of Oz inspired. So all these characters you have, you know, this is of course the lion, but he has the Scarecrow and the Tin Man, and Dorothy is, you know, badass and stuff. It's kind of fun. It's very fun actually, but it's also eye candy. So man, you know, now you get characters like this. It's so much more fun to try to draw a character that's savage and wild and. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. Now, the spider, I think this is pretty good. I'm gonna flip it though. The old magic trick. If you're in Photoshop, you want to flip the canvas horizontally. See, ew, I don't like it as much. It's always a disappointment. I swear. If you're drawing with pencil, you use you know, a mirror. Take it to the mirror, and it's such a frustrating experience sometimes. Because you work on something for a while, think, oh, that's really cool, and you look at it in the mirror, go, oh, what the hell's all? It's totally wonky. I want to try to get more bend in the body here. That's why I noticed right away. Okay, bring this muscle in here. Now that I've pushed the pelvis back there farther, I want to make these muscles more elongated there. I think it's getting more powerful. This is what's so great about Photoshop, being able to flip it, because, you know, if you are working in pencil on paper, you look in the mirror and you got to kind of just go back and try to fix it. But man, in Photoshop, flip it, then work on it, and you can still see all the mistakes. And then flip it back, check it out another way. It's so cool. right, starting to look like a good piece. Anthony Gonzalez, what is your channel name? I'll go take a look at it when I'm done here. Assuming that your YouTube channel, talking about there. You think about the figure, it's all organic, it's really smooth. But sometimes you want to be careful that you don't make it, you can have angles, almost straight lines, just to give it character. All right, I like that. Some nice strong tendons here. Okay, I'm going to try flipping it back now and see if it looks weird the other way. I think it looks pretty good. Not too shabby. Not too crappy. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. Shit. Well, I've been drawing for 37 years. You'd think maybe I knew a thing or two about drawing figures. So I am a doofus, but you know, if you do something for 30, even if you're a doofus, you do something for 37 years, you're going to be probably pretty good at it. Let's see. I'm going to look at some of this reference. I can't show you the reference. Eric says, do not show reference, Dan. I said, okay. Because it reveals story stuff. His looks really good, by the way. I'm sorry, I wish I could show you. It's this spider's really cool. He do a great spider. By the way, I've got my Inglorious Rex 2 today, which was, oh, it's so good. It's really good. Hope you guys got a copy of that. Shane Davis, his Inglorious Rex 2 is just really, really good. It's so creative. I mean, I'm so pumped up about comics now. I'm just excited. Oh, it's everybody's doing what their passion project, what they really love, and it shows, man. It shows. So the story was exciting, interesting, creative. I don't really know what's going to happen next, and that's a great story. You know, when you don't know. Like, is this character going to survive? That's what I feel like with the. I don't know if you guys think the same thing. With the the legacy characters, Batman, Spider-Man, all that kind of stuff. They're cool characters, they're great characters, but they're not going to die, and it's like kind of not that exciting, too predictable. But with new characters and just a single creative person working on it, you never know, and that makes it for a very interesting and exciting story. So they're new stuff. Gosh, this spider's so cool. I'm looking at. Okay, let me see if I can kind of copy him a little bit. I'm gonna move this over. Okay. got some things like this, and then the eyes are kind of like that, and then the mouth goes like this. Oh, these things are coming out here a little more with the pinchers. And that kind of, see, I wanted to have it not, I wanted separation here. So that could be a bit of a problem. I might have to pull the spider back. As a matter of fact, I think I'm just going to go over this spider with some white and kind of draw him fresh in here. That way I can control the composition. I'd like something that was, like I said, that's going to frame him like this. I want something that's kind of going to frame him. So how do I do that? I don't know. Got to figure it out. I'm looking at my reference here. Very cool spider. Reminds me of that big spider in Harry Potter. Second set of teeth here. Let me give it some white to define these teeth a little bit. I don't want him to look, I got to make him look angry. Got to figure that out. It's got to be pissed off and threatening and dangerous. I can probably do that with a little bit of a human, like, you know, eye or head brow here, sort of. These aren't nostrils, these are eyes. Okay, now let's get some very threatening legs here. See, I'm looking at my reference again here. Kind of see how he does a spider. Because even though, I mean, I did look up spiders and did some realistic looking at. Let's see what someone else just got here. Legendary Monkey. Hey, Legendary Monkey. How are you? How are you? Yeah, that's cool. I mean, the reference I'm looking at is cool. Mine isn't too bad. These are just little reflective highlights. I'm just putting them in now just to help myself out a little bit and understanding what I want, the look I want. And again, I want to see if I can make it. By the way, I say this all the time, but the way I like to work in Photoshop is I like to make like a color palette, like right here, and use my Option key. Always one finger on the Option key, hit it, and change the colors, or in this case, black and white. That's just the way I like to work. I don't know. Kind of developed it, and it's sort of stuck. Okay, how to make this like very threatening. Again, I want this, try to see if I can frame him. Frame his body. Frame this guy here. Maybe if I can bring this in a little closer to him. That's not too bad. I want to see the body of the spider too. That's pretty cool. Yeah, thank you, Art of Roy. I know that. I have the reference, so I will pay attention to that. But I may actually cheat it a little bit and make it a little more balanced, because I know the one side's really thick and big, so we'll see. Yeah, the spider's at a Dutch angle. It's a French spider, or Dutch spider, whatever. It's French. It's France, Dutch. I know they're right by each other. Now I may kind of silhouette these guys and bring them as part of the design, kind of bring them into the guy, helping frame him. Oops, I got something underneath here that's keeping it from... So I kind of like that original spider move, though. It looks kind of coming down like this. There's a bit of a twist to the spider. I think I'm going to try to do that. Let me try moving that spider face down in a different angle. See, sometimes you do something in the first sketch you do, it's just coming from the soul, it's coming from the heart. And it's right. Don't know. Normally, if I'm drawing comics and stuff, I don't put this much work into every panel and stuff. But if it's a splash, if it's a cover, something that's it's time to do a lot of versions and work it out. Not sure. This spider has 6 legs or more. Oh, he's got a lot. He's got 8 plus the front one, so I got lots of legs I can work into this design. That's right. Don't spiders have 8 legs, right? Yeah, I'm still not thrilled with this face and that I put in there. I don't want him to look fat, Fat little spider. So I might have just pulled this up higher. How do I make him look like he's looking down more? So I'm not used to drawing spiders. Down more means you usually see the top of the head more. No, he doesn't have a he's got kind of a swirl on his swirl pattern, not dots. That could actually be helpful for me getting a feel for the top of something. Yeah, the triangle motif, sure. But the interesting thing about the triangle motif is that's a kind of a natural thing. Because when you think about a figure and they're standing in an action pose, legs go farther apart, usually for stability and action movement, which creates a natural triangle. So there's a lot of that. Then you've got he's got to fight something else, and it's like you got to squeeze it in there. So the triangle motif it's kind of just a natural expression of life. Trying to get those eyes to look downward more. Got to bring more legs over here. I really want that menacing movement too. I think I'm going to try to get more like even curvature in the legs, so that it really pinching down. Okay, that's good. This looks now kind of like it's coming at you too. I want, if I could have one or two of the, like this, these got smaller front legs in the reference, so I can kind of make those look like they're coming at you a little more. That's a good thing. Get rid of that back there. Yeah, we don't get too picky with our number of. It's comics. It's sci-fi. You do whatever you want. So, Some people do get kind of picky with that, but it's like, well, if it is, it is. I think if you're doing a period piece, things like that, people really want the authentic guns. They want the authentic armor and all that stuff. They're really into it. Fantasy, science fiction, you can make it up. But still, it's the interesting thing about fantasy is it should reflect still reality in some way. So it's kind of like you want to go enough recognition, as much familiarity as you can, and then get as close to wild and extraordinary, incredible as you can. That's the real trick. It's like that character Doc Savage. He was kind of just a too cool, tough guy, but he had that one weird thing where he had that weird widow's peak haircut, which made him cool and it made him interesting. And you go, oh, that guy's weird, but cool. I'm kind of liking this. I wish I could see more of the spider though, but I don't want to make the guy any smaller. I want figures to be as big as possible, but maybe that's enough of the spider. I don't know. All right, good. I like it. Now time for the old flipperoo to see how good or bad this is. Kind of cool. Not bad. He looks kind of scary. I feel like I want one of these tentacles arms to be really encasing him, perhaps. Cradling him almost. I have to put that. Where's the... Okay. Something like that. I really want it to be... I want you to get the feeling that it's something's in the foreground. Foreground, middle ground, background a little bit. That'd be nice if I could pull that off. Now that kind of works. I get a little foreground thing going there. Okay, doesn't suck. I got to work out something really interesting here when the transition period right here, where this is where your interesting line work is going to be, and strange things, and maybe I add like textures, because this is where the white here, is going to transition into the black down here, and in little things that you put in will pop out and give your character depth. So I still need some work on the on this face to get it more spidery, because there is reference, and I do want to make it pretty close to the reference. I'm a kind of a perfectionist when it comes to I liked to have the character looking just like it is in the comic book on the covers or pinups, because there's no reason why not to. You can work with anything. And some people just seem to like, oh, I'm an artist, I do my own thing. No, you got a job to do, you do it. You serve the story. Pay attention to the reference, look at it, study it, go over it. All right, that is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see, where were we? I'm just I just found the reference on the spiders, so whatever they have is what I'm going to go with. And that's what you're looking at, is kind of what they have. So yeah, the man of bronze. Have no fear, the man of bronze is here. Is this my own property? No, this is Eric Weathers' Battlebrick Road, the second edition, and he's doing a series of large prints, and this will be one of them. I believe Shanthan Jetty's doing another one. One for him. I forget who else he's got going, but yeah, it's going to be great. No, actually, I love input. Thank you very much. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I mean, you guys don't realize it's really, really interesting, and I I learn when I'm talking about my stuff. So it just seems like it forces you to think even more deeply about what you're doing. Like when I keep mentioning my how to draw hands video that I made. I really studied hands, and my hands are a lot better than I was before I did that. And that video took me 2 weeks to do. All those hand drawings, all those drawings are my drawings, and a lot of them are kind of my hands. And I learned a lot, and my hands are a lot better. So this kind of stuff, this interaction, when you start talking about it with other artists, with other even just comic book readers, it's really, really interesting and helpful, and it stimulates you going into a different path and studying, and sometimes it forces you to explain. Say when you're studying something, when you have to explain something, you start to have to think, how do I approach it, and am I even doing that right? You kind of find that out. So really, it's cool. It's a win-win, total win-win. Okay, half. This character's half. lion, half human. I'm going to really zoom in on it. Gosh, it looks like this artist was on drugs when he was. You zoom in, look like he had to do 10,000 cups of coffee. By the way, this is why I don't work digitally, except for the when I'm doing a nice print like this. I mean, I'll print this out and I'll do it in pencil, but you tend to, it takes me so much longer because I tend to go in, you can keep going in and like zoom in that far and you'll be working on this for like an hour. Then you go back and go, oh crap, I just worked on something that was 1/8 of an inch wide. So I tend to like to draw it in pencil. Then when I color it, I zoom in and I can see the pencil, when the pencil lines are getting rough, I know I'm in too far and I can pull back. Plus, I just love the feel of pencil. I don't mind the Wacom tablet, but it's just it's something about paper. It's just cool, and I don't think that's ever going to change. So this guy's got like line on one side and then mustache on the other. It's kind of cool. So I was at the Motor City Comic Con this past weekend. I got to hang out with John Malin and Billy Tucci and his wife, Deborah, very, very nice lady, and a bunch of Billy's army buddies. They were really cool guys. They were just so much. They were so nice. Like they made you feel like one of the family, and these guys are pretty much family. Really made John and I feel very welcome, and we had a good restaurant we went to too. It was really good. And John Malin bought me a pickle shot. The famous pickle juice. It's a shot. I think it's a shot of whiskey, and you follow it with pickle juice. A swig of pickle juice. Ooh, that messed with me. It was good. It was really good, but like, whoa, can't have too many of those guys. Saw some other comic guys there that I've known for a long time. Jason Moore, to be precise, Jason Moore, great comic book inker and artist. John Martin, another longtime illustrator and known for years in the area. How's that look? Whoops. I was trying to do a magnify. See, sometimes you're working on it, you're in there and it looks all right, then you pull back and go, ugh, that's a bit toothy. I want it to be lion-like though, but I feel like the mouth is just a little bit too forward, perhaps. Let's try pulling it back. I'm glad I did it in a separate layer because I can play with it now without affecting the rest of it. It's kind of cool. You know, lions' mouths are extraordinary and when they're roaring, so kind of cool if I can get that effect, that feel of the lion roar. Let me look at the reference of this guy. Get rid of the spider ones. Because I think the spider's working. And I gotta look at the lion. I have some color reference. He's kind of got a man bun in the reference. Not sure I like man buns. I thought they looked cool, but then there's sort of the culture going with it. It's kind of isn't as cool. But that's the thing is that, you know, the people can. There's cool people with man buns. There's other people that look stupid with them. I would say this guy's pretty darn cool. Kind of dreadlocks. Okay, see what's going on here in the chat. Use the dark underside of the frame to frame the character instead of going back to the thick line weight, right? Yes, I would like to try to see if I can frame him. In fact, we'll see what happens. There's a lot that's going to happen too in the color stage. So we'll see if I can, you know, I think in this one, in this particular piece, it's going to get awfully highlighty on him. Very spotlighty. And the spider might even get dark, very dark and silhouette-y. So I would like to definitely consider that. So I don't want the spider to go into the character behind it, because if I want to silhouette this character, I want to be able to have that freedom to be able to do that when I color it. Yeah, doing comic books is a ton of work. It's a ton of work. But, you know, that's the job. So. Yeah, Dirty Martinis. Oh, really? Ben Franklin. Okay, well, maybe you have to tell Sean Salter about that, because he's got that comic book called Ben Franklin is Silence Dogood, time travel agent, and it's a story about. I did the cover for it, just recently, a cover for it, and this sort of Steve Jobs genius, evil genius of the future goes back in time and grabs Ben Franklin and takes him into the future, trying to milk him for all of his genius. And Ben Franklin and some other people of that genius's time got to fight the bad guy. And I think Sean will be interested in learning that about that. I do actually like Dirty Martinis too, but yeah, yes. it sounds like you've given that up, and that's not a bad idea. Yeah. So, yeah, when you look at it, boy, you take a look at poor Nick there. You know what I'm talking about. It's a good advertisement for staying away from that stuff. What it does to you. Oh my God. You gotta be very careful. Well, this needs work. The face, I gotta really focus it. You know what? One of the things when I'm drawing line like this, I'm okay with that, but you still are like at 80%. You know, you're not like 100% concentration because you're talking and you're, you know, you're some of my I have a limited brain power available to me. I only got so much RAM and processing power, so I gotta kind of it takes away like a little bit of the talking and the explaining. It takes away a little bit of the concentration. Okay, I don't want to make them too crazy-eyed either. I'm like just badass, you know. His nose doesn't look too large on him. Let's see. I'm looking at the reference, guys. You can't see it. But I have to ask Eric if I can show the reference when I'm doing, because I'll do another, you know, I can do another installment of this. I think, anyways, or maybe I'm close enough to print it out. I could do the video of doing the pencils too, and I can set up for that too. He's got a pretty long beard. Okay, he's got spandex. Actually, I got to flip this because I don't want to. I'm drawing it in the wrong side, the wrong way, and I'm looking at the reference. I got to make sure I'm doing it the costume the right way, because that would be stupid to. Which is something I would do because, you know, I'm stupid. Do the whole thing and draw it the wrong way, but no, I can have it anyway. He's got a kind of a torn up skirt here, or what? I don't know if it's manly to call it skirt, but a man skirt. I think this is okay. Let me see this guy's face again. It looks too kind of teethy though. Like, you know, he's got to overbite. You got to fix that. Ooh, this teeth just got to kind of come down straight. Yeah, I think he's cool. Savage. He's got a wristband. That doesn't matter. Can't see that. He's got a wrapping on his human side. Want to indicate that. Goes up to about there. See, once I get all the musculature and everything down, then it's just kind of time to put your details in your costume. Doesn't matter. He's got wrappings on his legs, but that's dark in shadow. He's got a few little, what do you call these, connector things? I don't know anything about dreadlocks, but sort of, what's that, Rastafarian stuff? I don't know. I wonder if, I don't think the lion has been introduced in the first issue. And I wonder, is he a cowardly lion in the new book? I'll have to find that out. Doesn't look very cowardly. All right, I think it's cool now. Oh, Corey's here. Hey, Corey. How's things from the other side of that planet, little Earth? Oh, I just read Gord Oxpub. Yeah, that's yeah. No, that's not the alcohol. Not so good for the heart. That's for sure. Stay hydrated, and you want to be. Alcohol has a tendency to dehydrate us, which is not good. Thank you, John Porton. All right, what time is it? Oh gosh, I've been drawing a lot longer than I thought. Man, you get in the zone and just like you're just going for it. But I accomplished a lot, and I'm happy with this. It doesn't suck. And that's important. You know, when you're starting out as an artist, most everything sucks. And then you do one piece and it doesn't suck. And then you do another piece. And everyone, sort of as you go, you do less and less pieces that are bombs. But drawn 37 years, I still do stinkers. I'll tell you that. Just less and less. You know, you kind of figure it out after a while. Okay, I want to try to get that so I can silhouette this baby apart. This shape in here, this white shape, I want that. See that happening. So I want to try to not connect it to him. Okay. I feel like it's one of those times when I gotta start to pull back and just let it sit around for a couple hours and for a day and just see what it looks like tomorrow. But I like it so far. I think it's working. I think it's a winner. Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. I think that's enough for tonight. I mean, tonight for broadcasting anyways. I'm going to get back to doing other stuff. But I want to try to do this one as much as I can online, just like I did the Silence Do Good cover. So yeah, I haven't used Procreate, John, and I'm just satisfied with Photoshop because my approach to art is so simple. I use a bunch of layers, and I use the basic brushes of hard round and soft round, and nothing fancy. So it's pretty much all I need. But I've heard a lot of good things about Procreate. Yeah, that's for sure. So, oh, and yeah, spelling my name right. Yeah. Lawless. Yeah, I wish almost it was just LESS because everyone, I mean, it's too easy to make that mistake. You know, it's like, pff, I would do it all the time. So, yeah, I'm in the zone. That's why it's time slows down. You get into, you start going at light speed. When you get to, remember when you get to light speed, time goes slower. So, when I'm drawing really fast, I'm in the zone. Time just goes by. But I've learned this too. Don't sit too long. You know, you got to get up, especially you know, an old guy like me. It's like you got to get up and move and pace around and walk around. I walk around my house. I stretch. And, and keep everything working and healthy. Definitely don't want to sit too long. All right, guys, it is almost midnight. Thank you all for checking in. There's Arda Roy. And oh, by the way, did anybody see the Bell Winters AI creation of Young Frankenstein with Graham Nolan, featuring Graham Nolan, Andy Smith, and Mandy Summers? Oh my gosh. Check my Twitter. I put it up there. It is unbelievably so fun. It's so funny, and it's just incredible that you can make this stuff look like, you know, make it look nearly completely real. And the voices are the same of the person. Oh, it's so wild. So I think that's my favorite one so far. It's really funny. And I'm still, I haven't got an answer to this yet, but when the Frankenstein monster's dancing, he's calling out, I think that's Cecil's voice. If you know Cecil Says of YouTube and Twitter is his handle. There's a lot of inside jokes in that, so it's very funny. But you know, some of these guys are they're all friends of mine, and it's so funny when they put these things in there and stuff. And anyways, that's just one funny aside. All right, until next time, you guys, thank you for checking in, and have a good evening and a good weekend if I don't check in tomorrow. And we'll see you. Bye.